The old monk struggled to stand up, feeling a sweetness in his throat, unable to help but spurt out a mouthful of hot blood, staining his monk's robes red. He only felt stars dancing before his eyes, intense pain all over his body, and the tingling sensation creeping closer to his heart. He forced himself to calm his mind, his eyes scanning Lin Jingyi lying unconscious on the ground. He saw a colorful centipede crawling out of his clothes, as large as a palm. The most peculiar thing being that its tail was split into 7 forks, resembling 7 tails. Moreover, each tail was a different color, beautiful yet somewhat terrifying. 7-tailed centipede. The old monk's words sounded like a groan. The black mist on his face grew heavier, blood continuously flowing from the corners of his mouth. It seemed that he was struggling to support himself. He still held on, unwilling to fall. He looked at the mass of black mist in the air and said, "You placed this incredibly poisonous thing on the child, deliberately concealed your strength, and seized the opportunity to injure me. You came for me, didn't you?" The figure in the black mist sneered. "Hey, not bad. I'm here specifically for you," billowed without wind, his originally small body seeming to have expanded significantly. With the prayer beads had been broken by him, but the dozen or so translucent prayer beads didn't fall. Instead, they spun continuously, emitting a faint blue light, floating in front of Puz. Only the deep purple bead fell straight down. Puz flipped his palm, grabbed a deep purple bead, and formed the water pot seal with both hands. His eyes widened and golden light appeared all over his body. He chanted each syllable one by one. Om, Ma, Ni, Pa, Mi, Hum. 6-syllable great bright mantra. The tone of the figure in the black mist suddenly became more solemn. As the syllable hung fell from Puz's lips, all the jade prayer beads suddenly emitted a dazzling light. At the same moment, the demonic creature summoned by the sinister figure had already rushed forward. Its bloody aura filled the air, but as soon as it touched the jade green light, it instantly dissipated into nothingness, unable to advance further, thus stagnating in midair. Despite this, Puz's body swayed, for the 7-tailed centipede was an extremely poisonous creature under the heavens. And even after hundreds of years of cultivation, he still found it difficult to withstand. However, on his face, shrouded in a faint black mist, there appeared a faint smile, tinged with a hint of determination. HMPH, Puz let out a loud shout, akin to the roar of a lion, resounding through the surroundings. Under the influence of Buddhist power, the jade prayer beads in front of him shone even brighter. Suddenly, one of the prayer beads shattered with a crisp sound, transforming into the shape of the word Buddha in midair, swiftly charging forward and striking the creature's face. Wow! The creature let out a piercing scream, retreating several steps. Its crimson aura greatly diminished, indicating that it had been injured. The figure in the black mist snorted, impressive, baldy. Just as he was about to take action, he was caught off guard. In an instant, 7 or 8 prayer beads turned into Buddhist scriptures, striking the creature. The creature continued to scream, retreating repeatedly in fear. When struck by the 9th jade prayer bead, it let out a long howl, its 5 eyes bursting simultaneously, its bones rattling. With a resounding crash, it fell to the ground, struggling for a few moments before lying still, slowly dissolving into a pool of blood, emitting a nauseating stench. At the same time, Puz let out another wow, spitting out another mouthful of blood, which was now black in color. A sharp scream rang out at this critical moment of the two experts' battle, coming from the entrance of the grass temple. Both Puz and the figure in the black mist were startled. The black mist in the sky moved, and Puz also turned his gaze towards the entrance, only to see the child Zhang Xiaofan, whom he had seen during the day, standing outside the temple, staring dumbfoundedly at the strange scene inside. With a cold snort, the figure in the black mist made no further moves. However, the 7-tailed centipede, which had originally crawled on Lin Jingyu's body, suddenly wriggled its tail and flew towards Zhang Xiaofan like lightning, taking advantage of the situation. Puz's eyebrows raised, and with a pointed finger, a jade prayer bead swiftly approached. The centipede, sensing the danger, dared not resist. With a flick of its tail, it soared upwards like a pair of wings, disappearing into the black mist without a sound. The figure in the black mist said ominously, "Hehe, indeed worthy of being one of the 4 divine monks of the Tianyin Temple. Despite being severely injured, you managed to defeat my blood-poisonous Corpse King. But how long can you hold on after being struck by the Corpse King and poisoned by the 7-tailed centipede? Just obediently hand over the bloodthirsty bead to me." At this moment, black blood began to flow from the corners of Puzi's eyes. He chuckled bitterly and hoarsely declared, "Even if I perish here today, I will first eliminate you, demon." With these words, all the jade prayer beads in front of him suddenly lit up simultaneously, causing the figure in the black mist to be on high alert. Suddenly, a whistle sounded, and an object flashed with a cyan light as it collided with the black mist from behind. It was the jade prayer bead that had struck the 7-tailed centipede earlier. Controlled by Puzi in secret, it darted towards the figure from behind, launching a surprise attack. With a furious roar from within the black mist, it was evident that the person was caught off guard. With several bangs and flashes of cyan light, the black mist scattered in all directions, eventually dissipating into nothingness. Descending slowly from the sky was a tall, thin figure, clad entirely in black robes, making it impossible to discern his face or age. Only his eyes emitted a fierce light. Behind him was a long sword bound tightly. Puzi murmured softly, "Despite your profound cultivation, why do you dare not reveal yourself?" The man in black robes glared fiercely, his voice cold, baldy. "Today, you shall have no burial grounds." With that, he drew the long sword from his back with a swift motion, revealing a blade as clear as autumn water, emitting a faint glow. "Such a fine sword," Puzi couldn't help but exclaim. The man in black robes snorted, gripping the sword firmly. Stepping on the 7 stars, he took 7 steps in succession, then thrust the long sword towards the sky, chanting, "9 heavens profound slaughter, transform into divine thunder. Radiant heavenly might, guide the sword." In an instant, the sky was filled with churning dark clouds, thunder rumbling incessantly. Lightning flickered at the edge of the dark clouds, and the entire world was filled with a palpable sense of killing intent, accompanied by fierce whines. The divine sword's thunder command, Puzi's face turned ashen in an instant. Along with shock, there was a hint of despair and a touch of inexplicable fanaticism. Suddenly, he shouted, You are from Qingyun Sect."